book lovers, it is GSwiz here, and I am here today to talk about my March TBR. We're already in March, it's a great feeling. So I have a pretty ambitious TBR. There are gonna be some new releases, some anticipated releases of mine, and there's some catching up to do, but also technically I've caught up to some other things. Like for example, last month I reread Chain of Gold, and this month I plan to read its sequel as soon as it comes out. There's some catching up that I've already done, and some catching up that I've gotta do. Without further ado, let's get into my March TBR. So I'm gonna start off with a book that I wasn't actually expecting to read. Actually, you know what? I didn't even know that it came out until one day I saw it on sale when I was book browsing. And then I was like, oh wait, a new book by this author has already come out and the sequel is very close by? Dang. And that, my friends, is Into the Crooked Palace by Alexandra Christo. If you don't know, Alexandra Christo was the author of To Kill a Kingdom, which is a book I read like around 3 years ago, and I actually enjoyed it. I rarely read standalones, but it was a standalone that still has really stuck with me. She really impressed me with her writing and made me want to read more from her. But I'm pretty sure back in 2019 I did not pay attention to a lot of book releases because I wasn't enjoying reading. I went through my anhedonic phase where I just did not enjoy reading anymore. I could not bring myself to pick up anything, and I could not bring myself to buy any new releases. So I didn't know that this book came out like in 2019, and it's been 2 years since it came out. The sequel, and I think the finale, is going to be dropping this coming month. I can't believe that I missed out on that. So I've got a lot of catching up to do when it comes to the 2019 book releases. I'm very much looking forward to this book. I heard that not too many people actually like this one. I've heard that it's a letdown compared to Kill a Kingdom, but I'm going into it with low expectations. I still want to give Alexandra Christo a chance. Into the Crooked Place is definitely a book that I want to get to this month, and the next book that I bring up is actually a volume of manga. I can't believe that I did not read this straight away like I have with the rest of the manga volumes that have been coming out every once in a while, and that, my friends, is Demon Slayer Volume 20. Now, funnily enough, I'm filming this on the day that I'm going out to the cinemas to see the Mugen Train movie. And by the way, if you are an anime only fan of the Demon Slayer series, you need to watch the Mugen Train arc before continuing on with season 2. That is not just an opinion. No, that's important plot stuff right there. The film in Australia was delayed for literally 5 months. I think my country was the last country to receive it. And the reason why I know this is because only just 2 days ago, when it released in Australian theaters, it was finally deemed as the most high-grossing anime film worldwide. That's how I know. I'm really excited to watch it tonight. I'm hoping that after I watch the movie, I will have all the motivation and all the feels to really continue on with the series. If you guys don't know, this is the 4th last volume. It goes up to volume 23, but this is the most recent volume published in English. You know what? I am not ready to let go of this series because it is one of my favorite manga series of all time. I understand why it does need to end and it can't go on forever. I'm just hoping that I am satisfied with the ending. But yeah, I'm getting very nervous at this point. Speaking of continuing on with series, Calibans War by James S.A. Corey. This is the second book in the Expanse series. This will be a reread, and I do remember really loving this book the first time I read it. I'm hoping that I love it the same way that I did the first time I read it, because with Leviathan Wakes, I didn't like it as much as the first time I read it. Being that I don't remember almost anything about Calibans War, I'm hoping that it's still a 5 out of 5 stars for me, because on my Goodreads it says it's 5 out of 5 stars, so I've just gotta trust that hopefully it's gonna be the same. And if it's not gonna be the same, then oh well, I tried. But regardless, I want to catch up to the series in the lead up to the finale, and I am very much looking forward to continuing on with this series and this book in particular, because I do remember loving it. I'm just hoping I love it just as much as I did the first time. Alright, another book series I need to catch up to. This was another 2019 release that I actually did purchase and pre-order like back in 2018, but I never had the motivation to continue on with it because I didn't want to read at all. And now that that has changed and the sequel and the finale is coming out like at the end of this month, I've got to finally do it. I've got to finally read King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. Now this was like a signed first edition that I got, a limited signed edition, which is really cool. So like I pre-ordered this book and I never read it, and I've heard such mixed opinions about it. The Grishaverse isn't necessarily my favorite series at all. I don't even know if any of them are my favorite books at the moment, to be honest, but I'm still intrigued in the series and its characters. That's why I continue on. And also the fact that Shadow and Bone TV show, the Netflix TV show, is coming out, it might rekindle my love for the Grishaverse, and so that's what I'm hoping it does. that. And also, I'm hoping King of Scars does the exact same thing, and I've also pre-ordered the Rule of Wolves, which is coming out end of this month. Gotta catch up before then. I gotta read King of Scars, and we'll see how it goes. There's a manga that I have to continue because, oh my goodness, I keep on putting it off. Camilo really wants me to continue on with the series, and I know a lot of you guys want me to continue on with the series because I've been continuing on with a lot of manga, but I have not been continuing on with everybody's favorite. That's the Full Metal Alchemist series. I at least want to get to volume 3. I read the first 2 volumes in January. I just want to continue on with them as the special editions come out. I literally purchased the 12th volume of the special editions on the weekend. I was thinking to myself, oh yeah, you know, like this is good addition to my shelf. They're all looking pretty, but like I've only read 2 of them. That's gotta change. 2 was good enough considering that I was collecting them before and I just was not reading them. Now I gotta get on to 3 and I just gotta continue on from there. I'm gonna make it happen. All right, I am planning a reread in anticipation for a release that is coming out at the end of March. Once again, oh my goodness, the end of March seems to be the center of YA new releases. And that, my friends, is a reread of Bonecryer's Moon by Catherine Purdy. This is the first book in a duology. I thought that this was going to be a trilogy, and I was devastated when I found out that it was a duology. I wanted more time with these characters, but oh well, I'll take what we can get. I don't even just want to reread this book because I want to remember everything. I want to reread this book because I just want to re-experience everything that happened in it. I just want to re-experience all the mythology. I want to pick up more. I also want more of Ellis and Bastian. Oh, I love them. I love the hate to love dynamic in this novel, and I just need to re-experience it. As soon as Bonecryer's Dawn comes out, you know I'll be picking that up. I understand that Rule of Wolves comes out pretty much on the same day, but Bonecryer's Dawn for me takes priority. And I'm going to be talking about a book that I'm currently rereading. Yeah, I'm actually almost done it, but I'm going to include it in this video anyway because it's important to at least include all of your TBR because I'm still reading it. And that, my friends, is All the Stars and Tea by Adeline Grace. And the reason why I wanted to reread this book is because the sequel, All the Tides of Fate, came out, I'm pretty sure in February or maybe at the end of January. I just wanted to get to this one, but I wanted to re-experience this one before I got to this one. I'm actually almost finished All the Stars and Tea, but I'm absolutely anticipating what is going to happen in the sequel because things tied up pretty nicely at the end of this book. But I'm hoping that the sequel gives us a good epilogue to the story because it's technically a finale. I mean, I could use a trilogy once again, but I'll take what I can get. And the next book that I'm going to mention is a backlist title of a book that I've wanted to read for a very long time, and I'm not going to fully consider this for March because it might happen in April, who knows, but I kind of want it to happen soon. I don't want to make any promises, but I want to do a reading vlog for this particular book and potentially the series because I just hear nothing but great things about it, and I'm a big sucker for fantasy romance. This book right here falls into that category. Yes, you've seen this on a TBR video before, and no, I did not read it in December. Flesh from Blood and Ash has been one of my most anticipated reads for a very long time, and I feel like I always put it off because I want to read it at the right time. At the time that I want to read it, I want to be vlogging to get my entire reaction and to see how this all goes. I think I do actually need this after I have recently caught up to the Court of Thorns and Roses series because yes, I do need that good fantasy romance stuff in my life. And the final book that I plan to read in the month of March is a book that literally comes out 2 days after I'm filming this video. It's Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. I don't think I'll be receiving my physical copy straight away. Once again, I've done the exact same thing that I did with A Court of Silver Flames. I pre-ordered the audiobook, and the audiobook of Chain of Iron will be sent to me at the time that the US gets the Chain of Iron release, so it usually gets sent to me at around 5 p.m. on the release day. Hey, you know, I'll be finished work then, and then I can start the book, and I'm really excited about that. And then the physical copy will come, and we'll all be happy little Vegemites. Haha, such an Aussie saying. Goodness, I'm so nervous for Chain of Iron because if it's anything like the sequel that Lord of Shadows was, I don't know how to feel. So I guess that's gonna be it for this video today, book lovers. Don't forget to check out Camilo's RedBubble store, linked down in the description, as well as use my referral code if you live in Australia to get $20 off of your first order at RedBubble. Also, if you happen to enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet already. Join the amazing community of book lovers. And also, I have social medias. I'm at gswizzelbooks on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm also at Goodreads. That's www.goodreads.com/gswizzle. I love you, book lovers, and I will see you later. Peace.
Started out with half and I flipped it into double. Started out with half and I flipped it into double.